Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my weekly Q&A for this week. The first one for Fear the Walking Dead. Only have 3 episodes left, which will be 2 weeks. First question for this Q&A is, do I think Strand is going to survive? Okay, so spoiler warning if you guys haven't seen episode 12 yet. I thought this was a good question to start the Q&As up this week for Fear. Is Strand going to survive or not? I mean, if you look at episode 13, it's called Date of Death. And the more I thought of that, I was like, oh, does that mean Strand is going to die today? Like, this is the day? That almost seems like it'd be too obvious if they named it Date of Death, and that's when Strand dies, and we know he was stabbed, and this kind of deal. But it's definitely a good question, and I wanted to add it because, man, I like Strand a lot. He's a fun character. But then again, somebody's got to die. Okay, so how many deaths have we had recently in our main cast? Mid-season finale, we seem to lose Daniel, but he might come back. It might be one of those kind of deaths. So I think we do need at least one pretty big character death this season finale. If not, then if they do like the whole colonial community getting wiped out or something like that, Alejandro and some of the others dying, then that might be okay for their death quota for Walking Dead for a finale. But so with Strand, I really hope he's going to survive, but there are some things. I mean, he's drinking a lot of alcohol, and the concern is that he might bleed out. So this is the thing to kill the pain and that kind of deal. I'm not a nurse, and maybe some of you guys are. You can write it in the comments below. But does alcohol not thin your blood? Is that not what it does? I'm pretty sure it does. And if it does, and it thins out your blood and everything, I mean, and your body has to detoxify that, it has to sort that out while it's trying to, heal itself as well too. I can't help but think that that's probably not going to help his situation. Of course, they got the drugs now, so it seems like everything's good with that, and they should be able to give him that. Generally, I think if she missed all his vital organs and that kind of thing, as long as he doesn't bleed out, I would think he'd probably be okay. But yeah, it's a tricky one. So I personally hope he's going to survive. I think he will pull through. I think he will survive. I don't think he'll be killed off just as a result of that stab. That would be pretty weak if they did kill Strand off in the next episode or the next couple episodes just from a stab like that. I would be pretty disappointed if he was killed off like that. So here I'm saying I don't think he's going to be killed off, and I hope he's not going to be. But of course, since Fear is not based on comic book series or anything, we have absolutely no idea what they're going to do with it. The thing with Strand is, has he used up his time in the series? He's kind of the Abigail dude. Like, Abigail is his thing. He had his stuff with the Celia, Thomas, storyline there that we had in the first half of season 2, and he did have quite a bit of time at the end of the first season. So he has had quite a bit of time in the series now, and he had his love interest, and then he's got this kind of stuff that's been going on. And if Travis is going to return to the main group, Travis is pretty smart as well too. So in terms of tasks and in terms of the story, do they need to have both Strand and Travis as part of the same group? I'd almost say no, and that maybe Strand his time has been fulfilled on the show with the Abigail and all the other stuff that he's been involved with. I hope he's going to survive, though. I don't want to see them kill off Strand right now. You guys can write your comments below. How do you feel about this? Do you think he's going to pull through? I think he will. It's kind of my prediction, and I hope he will. You guys can write your comments below on what you think, because I just think he's such a smart, strong survivor. He's also fun and like a really, I wouldn't say he's a nice guy, but he's very personable, I think, and he's fun to see in the series, and I hope that he does pull through. But again, somebody's got to die, so who's it going to be? We'll have to wait and see. So again, write your comments below, guys. Let me know what you think. Has Strand's time come to an end in the show? Can you see them killing him off in such a fashion? And are you disappointed if they were to kill him off? Would you be disappointed? Write your comments below. Next one's from Epic Zombie Killer, and he says, Q&A, Trev, do you think now that Madison knows about the colonial, do you think she'll go there to look for Nick? I would love to hear your thoughts on this. So yeah, the thing is with Madison is that she's got some stuff coming up that she's going to have to deal with the hotel. There's going to be a lot of people flooding in. Travis is going to be coming going back and meeting with them. And of course, she's going to be happy to see him, but then they might lose the hotel. So she's going to have a lot of stuff happening, by herself. But I wouldn't be surprised if in the finale, the Colonia gets destroyed. Nick and Luciana have to leave. Maybe Luciana, the whole turn to salt thing, maybe she gets killed off as part of it. That'd be pretty sad. And if so, then maybe Nick leaves the lone survivor of the Colonia, something like that, and meets up with Madison and the others, and they kind of join together, and they go find a new place to live, minus the hotel, minus the Colonia, maybe travel somewhere else. That would make for a pretty good finale, and it could be pretty sad if Luciana is killed off. I think that'd be a pretty big character death, but she did just kind of get here, and I am liking to see. I do like the relationship between her and Nick. I think it's good. I think it's good for Nick. It's cool to see, and gives a little bit more of a dynamic to Nick. But we're going to have to wait and see, man. I mean, again, I'm expecting at least to see one pretty good, sizable character death, unless they go for the mass death approach and they just kill off tons of people in the Colonia or something, including Alejandro. So we'll see. But again, write your comments below, guys. Let me know what you think. Do you think we'll see Nick reunited with the rest of the group in the finale of the season? I think we will. I think so, yeah. Trevschanrules. I appreciate the name. That's a pretty cool name. And that's actually, I'm not making this up. That's actually the dude's name. It's his YouTube name. He says, hey, Trev, do you think the guts technique is being overused in Fear of the Walking Dead? And I apologize, I didn't include this in the Q&A, but I read your message, and I wanted to include it because I touched on this in the review briefly, because this was his message. He said this, not me originally. But I did notice it was being used a lot. But until he pointed out, I was like, is it overused? And that's his question here. He says, I feel like it is, unless these characters are in fact the Whisperers from the Walking Dead comic book series, I personally don't want that to be true, because I want Fear to succeed alongside the Walking Dead for many years. So do I, absolutely. Do you think it's being overused, Trev? Would love to hear your thoughts on this. Absolutely, man. Especially after Sunday's episode, it's being overused so much now. It's like every time they have to leave, they're putting the guts on. Or it's not even guts. They're just putting a little bit of blood on it. It's like, oh yeah, I'm cool. I just got a little blood smeared here and a little blood smeared here, and I'm fine. And it's like, I never felt like that was the way the guts trick worked. If you look at the Whisperers and you look at the original Walking Dead, when they do the guts trick and Rick is walking down, I mean, they cover their whole body with like a sheet, and then they put guts on top of it. If you look at No Way Out, or you look at earlier on in Guts, the episode, that's why I call it the guts trick. I just made that up back in season 2 from, they use the guts and everything. The episode's called Guts, and I call it the guts trick because of the name of the episode. So you got Glenn and Rick, and they cover themselves, but they cover themselves with guts. I mean, they have like intestines hanging off. They have stuff like this. They have, the whole thing is like that. And still, when it starts to rain, the zombies are like, like what? In this instance, in Fear, they're in the hot sun in Mexico, sweating profusely with body odor. Do you not think those zombies would be like, what is that I'm smelling? I'm smelling like shish kebab or something. I'm smelling, street meat sausages or something. I'm ready to go, because they literally just put like blood here, blood there, a little bit of blood there, and that's it. And I'm just like, man, I'm a little bit, it's like, okay, I get it, you're going to let it slide, but it shouldn't become like some commonplace, easy thing to do. We just cut up one zombie, we put a few things here and there, and then we're good to sneak through. It should always be like a struggle to do it, and I think the Whisperers are so good with it because they put a whole zombie scalp on their faces to cover their entire thing over top, and then they have clothing on to cover their bodies so that when they move through and they go slow and they whisper, they don't make any noise, they don't draw attention to themselves, the zombies are like, okay, cool, because they can't, they're totally covered, there's no exposed skin, nothing like that. But to have some of them just like grab some blood and put some blood here, put some blood there, put some blood there, and then they're good, it's like, I don't know. And I could get it for Nick because he's so good at acting and stuff like that maybe they don't realize it. But still, because of body odor and sweat, I can't help but think like it's being overused, and it's also being disrespected as a technique. It should be harder than that. There's a reason why Rick and the others don't do it in the main Walking Dead. It's because I wouldn't say it's because that, they could just put some blood on them and they're good. No, I would think it's because, if you do it, you have to cover like everything. Otherwise, they're going to smell you and then it's going to be all on. So you guys write your comments below. Let me know what you think about the guts trick. Do you think it's being overused? I agree. It definitely is. And I think it's being a little bit disrespected because I think it should be harder than that to do it, is simply what I'm saying. Torridd says, and he's asked some great questions over the years, so thanks for your continued support, both of you guys, Trevschanrules, Epic Zombie Killer, and also Torridd. All you guys. Thanks all you guys for all your support and questions and everything. You guys are awesome. Love you guys. So Torridd says, I think this is my first viewer question. I agree with you about the interest being increased in the show for him as a viewer. He says, I want your take regarding if Nick came into contact with his family again, which is inevitable, who would he choose between them and Luciana? I think that's easy. That's an easy question, easy answer. He's going to go Luciana for sure. I mean, he likes her, and he's always had this kind of rocky, weird relationship with his mom trying to protect him and everything. He already left them before with Celia. He's reaching out for some love. He's getting some love from her, and she's a little bit bossy boots now too. He probably likes that too. so it's what it is. I'm sure he's pretty happy there, and I think it's all going to come crashing down at the Colonia. I don't think he's going to be able to save them, and they've been spotted now. So I think it's going to be on like Donkey Kong pretty soon. Next one's from Clockwork Bullets, and we'll probably do this one as the last one. He says, Trev, Q&A. Do you think the small herd near the community will come into effect in the season finale of Fear the Walking Dead? Any thoughts? Absolutely, the wall. So the wall is their thing they're banking on. They're banking on the wall. And it may be true that it is useful because even if the gang attacks, they're going to have to use a lot of bullets to take down that whole small herd that's at the wall. So unless they figure out some other way to do it or something where they take a grenade and blow up something, or they somehow move the bus out of the way and let the zombies come in, it's going to be really interesting to see. But if they just full on attack, go through the wall, and unless they use the guts trick or something, again, if the bad guys if the gang starts using the guts trick, I'm going to be like, oh my god, this is too much shit. But that said, if they go in and they kill all the zombies in the wall, they're going to be wasting so much ammo. It's like, is the Colonia worth that much ammo? Is it worth a few hundred rounds of bullets or whatever you have to take the Colonia? Maybe it is, because it's a good location. Maybe not, because they're open to trade. They're this kind of thing, so it's going to be interesting. Maybe they can find a way to get in there without going through the wall or something. But either way, I think it will come into play. I think it's going to be cool because, of course, and Fear has done a good job of this in the season 1 finale. We don't just get to see all kinds of craziness happening, groups fighting and stuff like that, but we get to see a pretty good zombie herd. Daniel leads it in and stuff, and it adds to it, and I think it makes some really, for some awesome episodes when you have a whole shit ton of zombies in there too, it really amps everything up and makes everything more, the stakes higher for sure. So I think it will come into play, and I can't wait to see how the wall is. Alejandro's banking on it, and I don't think it's going to be enough to keep them out because they've got so much ammo and everything, and they're stocked up pretty good. So that'll be it for today's Q&A, guys. Keep sending me your questions, and we'll do another one, maybe even tomorrow, to be honest, because we don't have much longer of Fear left, 2 weeks. So any questions you guys got now's the time to ask, and we'll go through with some Q&As, and we'll enjoy the finale of what I think is a great season of Fear the Walking Dead Season 2. That's it for this Q&A today, guys. If you liked it, please like it. Please thumb the shit up. You can also share it through to Facebook. You got a Facebook. You want to share it through? I appreciate it. You can do me a favor, and I'll do the best I can for you guys to make as many videos as I can, and all I ask really is that you thumb it up, you share it, and if you're new, you subscribe. I appreciate everybody who subscribes. You guys are the best. Subscribe at the bottom left if you're new. That's it for this video. I'll see you guys again soon. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. I'll see you soon.